On the air everywhere, this is New England Broadcasting.
Come Monday, it'll be alright.
Monday morning, you sure look fine. Rainy days and Mondays always get me down.
Whatever.
Tell me why I don't like Mondays. Tell me why I don't like Mondays.
It's just another manic Monday.
Monday, so good to me.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. It's the Ron Van Dam Show.
Thank you for coming.
Hold on tight. Things can get a bit weird if you like that sort of thing.
Would you care for a drink? Hey, would you like a finger sandwich? How about this finger? Ooh. Yeah, the old middle finger sandwich, huh? Yeah, I know. Thank you so much for dropping by. This is really nice of you to do. I know you could be doing other things right now, but you chose to be here, and I do appreciate that. Not that I care all that much, but nonetheless, you're a good person. I say a lot of things about you behind your back, like, you know, how you're not all that attractive, and you're basically a pathetic person. But I don't really mean it. You know that phrase there, that there's a little bit of good in everybody. I believe there's a little bit of bad in everybody. That's why I think it ends up bad, is what I'm saying. Do you know what day of the week this is? It's Monday. Oh my God. Start of another week. Oh my God. So, whatever, right? Whatever. My favorite phrase. A lot of people say, whoa, Ron, I don't like that word. I live it. So, you know, whatever. It's a sign of frustration. I give up. You know, I can't change things. I can't affect you. I can't change the world. So it's whatever. I'm just going to lay down that steamroller. Just whatever. Price of gasoline went up again. Oh my God. How does that happen? How does gasoline so quickly go up in price and then quickly go down in price? Is it OPEC? You don't even know what OPEC is. OPEC is OPEC. It stands for something. I don't know what it is. Actually, I do. But it's just whatever. What does it stand for? I don't know. Whatever. The point is that there's a group of people somewhere in the Middle East, I believe. I don't know where they live, whatever. And they wake up in the morning and they're a little pissed, you know. They're just, hey, you know, I don't feel well. I have arthritis and I'm a little stiff in my joints. I don't feel too good. And let's raise the price of gas. Here we go. Actually, they're rising and raising. The price of oil is what they're doing. It's an oil thing. It's like olive oil and that kind of thing. Vegetable oil. They turn that into gas. I have gas, but not the type you can put in your tank. Boy, if I could take my gas and turn it into gasoline, not just gas, but gas-o-lean, I could run my car from here to China. And I can't drive to China because there's water in between, but you know what I'm saying. It's a phrase, it's a thing, whatever. I think that's what it is. I think these people get up in the morning who are in charge of the oil prices and the what a barrel of oil costs. It all has to do with a barrel of oil. Hey, Bob, how much is a barrel of oil today? Well, I'm a little pissed. It's going to be high. Oh, whoa. So when you're at the gas station and you're filling your car up, you can thank Bob, who's a member of OPEC, who's a little pissed this morning and the price went up. You can use that as a phrase. If you go to the gas station and the price is low, you can say to yourself, "Oh, Bob must be feeling good today." Now, I don't know if there's a Bob. I have a feeling there's no Bob on the OPEC, the OPEC team. Team OPEC. I don't think there's a guy named Bob on it. Bob is way too familiar a name. Do you know why they came up with the name Bob? Because it's really Robert. It's Robert. But came up with Bob because anybody named Bob is just a guy. He's just Bob. It's like Joe. Hey, Joe, how are you? Joseph, that's different. That's a manger thing, right? That's a biblical name. But as soon as you turn it into Joe, it's just a regular guy with a baseball cap eating a hot dog. That's all it is. It's just Joe. That's a regular Joe. He's just Bob. It's all Bob. You know, it's harmless. He's Bob. Does Bob bother you? No, it's just Bob. It's just Bob. Come on. They turned his name into a verb, like bobbing for apples. It has nothing to do with Bob. Yet they've turned his name into a verb. We do this. Yeah. What we do is we put apples in a large barrel, a barrel of oil from OPEC. We put the apples in there, and the apples float. What Bob does is he sticks his head in the barrel of water with the apples. And he tries to pick the apple up with his teeth without using his hands. This guy named Bob kept doing this for no reason whatsoever. And somebody said, "We got to turn this into a verb. This is too much. We can't let this go. This is just crazy. Let's turn it into a verb quickly." That Bob, he's bobbing for apples. What a schmuck. And there you have it. That's how it happened. That's how people's names become verbs. It's based on the things that they do. Yeah. The name Bob, Robert is he's a target. These are target names. They shorten the name Robert. You know, what's your name? My name is Rob. Oh. I once saw a guy named Robert walk into a bank and take all the money and run out of the bank, and the police were chasing him. Well, we got to turn that into a verb somehow. That is crazy. And his name was Robert, you say? Yes, it was. How can we turn Rob's name into a verb after taking money from a bank and running down the street, chased by cops? Let's say he robbed the bank. Ooh, yeah, good verb for Robert. Yeah, Robert's got verbs. No matter how Robert changes his name, whether it's Bob or Rob, they got him on the verbs. They're watching his every move. It's crazy. Yeah, he's just a regular Joe. Oh, wow. That's not good. Yeah. No matter what Joe does, he's just a regular guy. No, there's nothing you can do about it, Joe. I mean, it's just the way it is. All right. Am I going to do an entire show based on people's names becoming verbs? I could. But you know what? I'm not. because I just don't want to anymore. Whatever. Read an article yesterday about TV reality shows. Do you watch the TV reality shows? The article was very revealing. It was something that we all know, but we don't ever admit to ourselves. Like sex is a wonderful thing, but too much of it, not so much. You kids don't understand that, do you? You kids, you discover sex and you want it all the time. You get a little bit older, it's like, all right, enough is enough already, huh? You're making a good thing like monotonous. Let's just cut it out. Then you search for different ways to have sex that make it more exciting, and even those things start getting like old, and it's like, what the hell am I doing here? Let's just do this every once in a while and call it a day. Okay, Bob? Anyway, so I'm watching reality shows, and I realize from this article that reality shows are not real. They're based on reality. Oh, that's what reality shows are? Yes, they're based on reality to make you think they're real, but they're not. And I guess if you thought these shows were actually real, then you are just living in a fantasy world, because they're not. Let's run through them, and I will tell you that they are not real. There's a very popular show on television called Pawn Stars. It takes place in a pawn shop. People come in, they bring items in, and the pawn shop owners and workers try to, they they tell you how much it's worth and whether you want to, have the pawn shop take it or not, or they tell you, no, it's not worth that much, get the hell out of my store. The people, they're real. The situations, they're not. They are staged. Let me tell you something, kids. Anything on television is staged. It might be based on reality. There might be real people involved, but they're told what to do and when to do it and what to say and when to say it. They're scripted. Oh, Ron, no, don't do this. It's true. House hunters, they're not hunting for a house. They already found one. You see them at the end of the show in their house. They already bought that house a long time ago. They're real people. When they're going into the houses, there's 3 houses that they choose from. A couple of those houses aren't even for sale. You know how you can tell when you see the for sale sign out in front of the house? It's not a real estate company. It's just a big sign that says for sale. Who does that? Did you ever look for a house? And then you go to the house and there's a big sign for sale. No, it's got the real estate company's name on it or something like that. Not just a big sign in big letters that says for sale. It doesn't happen like that. House hunters is not real. They are not searching for houses. They're already in the house that they want. They didn't even go through the process. They're real people, but they're told what to say from different camera angles. It's not real. It's not real. Oh, what house did they choose? They're already in the house. They've been there for a while now. Love It or Listed. You like that show on HGTV, the Home and Garden TV? I don't see much garden on the HGTV, the Home and Garden TV. There's not much garden. There's a lot of home. Ain't much garden. And isn't any garden, as a matter of fact. They're all staged. They're all staged. They're all staged. It's unfortunate, but it's true. Yeah. And of course, the Real Housewives of New Jersey, the Real Housewives of Connecticut, the Real Housewives of Thailand, they are, that's totally staged. They got these housewives, no. They're not completely actors. They're fairly normal people with some acting experience. And they are told to act out situations. They may not be scripted, but certain things that they say are scripted, and they're asked to say those things every once in a while. It's not real. It's staged. That show with the boats, with the boats, where they have people on boats. It's not real. No, nothing's real. Nothing's real. It's like Trump wrote all these things. Trump is real. No, he's not. He's a fake president. He's a guy who thinks he's an actor, and he's going through all the motions. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. We've been living through a reality show. I'm telling you. Is life indeed just a reality show? Are we just all actors? Trying to fill the time with witty little lines? Bottom line, ghost hunters, all those ghost shows on television. No. Yeah, they shake the camera a little bit to make it look like they're running around and stuff. And, look, listen. It's all fake. It's all fake. It's all thrown in. No, it isn't, Ron. Some of it is true. No, it's not. Stop it. Don't be an idiot. It's not reality TV. It's based on reality TV. As soon as you get a camera and microphones and production involved, it's not real. It's not real. There was one real show, and it's not there anymore. Cops. Cops was real. Cops was real. Some of it, a tad of it was reenacted, but not really. It was real. There was a show called Live PD. I happen to have liked that show because that was real. Real. Those are the only two shows. Both those shows are gone. They're not gone because they were real. They were gone because they were too real. Yes. When you saw cops doing things that you didn't want to, beating people. We can't handle reality shows. We cannot handle them. Think about it. The two reality shows that were really, really real are no longer there. The shows that are really, really fake are doing very, very well. Duck Dynasty, I still don't understand what the hell that show is. There's a couple of people with beards walking around. Don't really understand what they're doing. I don't understand. Duck Dynasty sounds like a Chinese restaurant to me. But yeah, Duck Dynasty is not real. Nothing like that is real. And now we have to question our lives. Is my life real? I guess it is. I guess I react to things, but is it real? Do I put myself into situations that give me pleasure that previously hadn't existed? I guess I do. Am I just an actor? I guess I am. Is life nothing but a movie scene and I am nothing but a struggling performer? Yes, perhaps, Ron, you really are. Am I nothing but a talk show host who performs for other people? Well, yes, that's my job. Oh, okay, maybe not you then. I have an interesting guest coming up momentarily. I really, really do. But before we get to our guest, I have a real commercial for you.
Gentlemen, have you ever been in the mood for a nice knish or maybe bagel in the schmear, but you're also in the mood for some exotic dancing? You can't find those in the same place. Until now. I'm Moishi Kaufman, inviting you to come visit us at Moishi's Knish and Strippers, the area's first genuine kosher deli and titty bar. Come in and rock out with your locks out and check out our dancers. These girls are so nice you'll plots, and they're all certified kosher. Maybe not the kind of girl you bring home to mother, but once you see Delia fold a dollar bill without using her hands, you won't care what mom thinks. Look, Bubby, you're in a strip club. That alone is enough to kill her, so live a little. Every Thursday, don't miss our buns and brisket buffet from noon to 6. Moisey's Knish and Strippers is closed on the Sabbath. Hey, we might be a little unorthodox, but we're not heathens.
Pam Gaslow joins us now. She's written a new book. Ooh, Don't Bring Your Vibrator to Rehab, a somewhat comedic memoir. That in itself is a weird thing to say, Pam.
Do you want me to explain where I got the title from?
Yeah, I do. And I understand that it came from not you necessarily.
No, it totally came from me.
Oh.
Where'd you hear that rumor?
I thought it was something that was printed out in a thing, like not to bring certain things.
Well, yeah, but that
Okay.
I came up with the title.
Gotcha.
When researching treatment centers, they send you a list of things to bring and not to bring,
Yeah.
and so one of them said sexual devices. So I just thought that was funny. They also said teddy bears and other things. I was going to originally call it "Don't Bring Your Teddy Bear to Rehab," but I thought that
Vibrator
was much better.
Absolutely, there's no question about it. So it presupposes from the title that you went through this experience.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah, and what brought you to what type of rehab was it, and basically what drove you to it? Because people are usually driven to things like that sometimes.
Well, it was just a basic rehab for drugs and alcohol, and I had been sober for about 8 years, and I relapsed with marijuana, which I know a lot of people say, "Oh, marijuana, that's not addictive,"
Right.
but it is.
It is.
And it led me to being very depressed, very hopeless, lethargic, and eventually vomiting regularly, which is some people have marijuana toxicity that smoke as much as I did. And it was at that point that I realized that I needed help and went to treatment.
Very cool. Okay, and then you went through this experience, and I guess it fueled something to write a book like this. As a comedy writer, you're writing all the time anyway. Is it different to write comedy, do stand-up, than it is to sit down and actually be comprehensive in a book?
Yes, completely. And that's really a good question. I like that question because for me, stand-up is makes me very anxious. And, you have to be on with every sentence, and every sentence you say, pretty much every sentence has to be funny, or, and you have to be quick. And when you're writing it's so much less stressful, and you can sit by yourself and work it out and have time and think about it. And every single sentence doesn't have to be, make everybody laugh. Yeah.
Well, yeah. When you're doing stand up, it's also it's your the delivery, how you get how you're communicating with an audience. A book is it's like there's no delivery. It's just words in a sentence. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, I actually prefer writing because I can just do it, behind closed doors, and I don't have to be performing it. So, but a lot of people say that people that know me say that I write the way I speak. So, obviously,
yeah, your comedy is pointing out the absurd. I've noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's pretty much what you do with the book. Were you going to write a book anyway, or did this experience kind of just spark itself into writing the book?
That's another good question. I like that. I wanted to write. I knew I needed to go to treatment, and I wanted to write about it. It was just something I wanted to write about, but I didn't want to need to go there. And so I went there knowing I was going to write about it. Yes. And I took notes daily, which is how I was able to, put all the details, and I never would have remembered it, but you're allowed to, have a notebook and write everything. So that's what I did when I was there.
Yeah. Was it a difficult experience? Was it something where you needed to do a journal and to have a purpose for it? Or was it something that you actually thought, this is pretty cool?
No, I thought it was cool and interesting. And I really wanted to get people to see what goes on like inside a treatment center, because as well as it being, it's so many things there. It's so many emotions, it's sad and it's revealing and it's cathartic and it's also funny and it is absurd. And you're mixed together. You're thrown in a place with, all different people, like complete strangers, and everyone has their specific, reason for being there. And just all of a sudden, you're all like best friends, and it can be it's a wild ride.
Yeah, I guess you moved to Miami where you had this not so great experience. I understand relationship wise, and are you where are you now? Like as far as that's concerned.
As far as the relationship, or as far as
the relationship. Well,
Miami?
let's say Miami and the relationship.
It's funny. I love Miami, even though I write a story making fun of it. But I do love living here, and I think when I first moved here, I was just kind of lonely, and it was a new place. I literally moved here not knowing one person. So, and I had just I'd been a little bit out of another relationship, and I just, I think I was a little lost, but, now after going through all that and coming out the other side and being healthy again, it's just, it's a great place. It's a great place to live. And I'm really happy now. I'm happy that I live here and I made it through.
Yeah. It's an inspiration in a sense. One usually doesn't connect comedy to inspiration, but there is. It's you went through it and you came out on the other side, and it was a good experience, and it's pretty cool.
I think I just like to point out, like you said, the absurd, in anything, and it's just there, addiction's a really serious, heavy, sad topic. And if you can find the humor in there, because there are parts that are funny and things that you do when you're stoned that are ridiculous, that, I'm not alone in doing them, and, pointing them out so we could all like laugh a little bit.
I always find it interesting because we talk about the addictions of drugs or alcohol, whatever the case may be. But I've noticed in my life, that everybody's got an addiction. Some of them are not apparently dangerous to your health or anything, but we all have things that we obsess about so completely that we should all be in rehab.
Oh, absolutely. It could be anything. I mean, remember quitting cigarettes and getting addicted to sucking candies. I was like, well, this isn't good. You can't just be doing this now, or whatever it is. But yeah, anything that makes you feel good, I guess, or changes the way you feel can become addicting.
Yeah. So you're into writing now. Are you working on something else? You still doing stand-up?
I haven't been doing stand-up. I mean, there was a pandemic, and then I just... I enjoy it, but I prefer to write. So, I write a lot on Medium. I write a lot of humor pieces, and I'm contemplating my next big project. We'll see what happens. Yeah. I'm excited, though.
It almost sounds like, I don't know if anybody's mentioned this to you before, but it sounds like a movie. I mean, it sounds like it could be a kind of fun but yet poignant movie.
That would be fun. People have mentioned that. I don't know if it could be personally, but if someone does and wants to write it, that would be amazing. That would be exciting.
Yeah, it's just even the title. I can see it on a marquee and people lining up just because of the title, almost.
Well, it's funny because as of today, it's actually on a billboard in Times Square, New York City. So you're not so far off there. And unfortunately, I won't be there to see it in person because it's freezing. But I'll get a picture.
Yeah. Well, you can't go out when it's too cold?
Well, I live in Florida, and because of COVID, I just didn't go up there.
Yeah, Florida is kind of, Florida is the butt of jokes now for kind of that reason, too, I think. It's interesting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'll be the first to make fun of Florida as well, so I have no problem. I'll make fun of anything. I don't care if I live here.
As long as they don't know your address, then get back at you.
Exactly, right.
All right, let's. The book is called "Don't Bring Your Vibrator to Rehab," a somewhat comedic memoir. She's Pam Gaslow, Gaslow. Is there a website we can visit?
Yeah, it's pamgaslow.com.
Well, that sounds simple. How'd you snag that one?
I'm smart.
Yeah, smart. You thought of putting a .com after it, and it worked out.
It's just, I got to keep it simple. You know how it is.
Very cool. So everybody, pick up the book. It's fun. But at the same time, it's you're going to get something out of it as well. And follow her and see what happens there. Pam, it's been a pleasure speaking to you.
Thank you so much.
Well, that'll do it for me today. Thank you so much for coming by. You are really something. I'm going to be back again tomorrow with a brand new show. Now, tomorrow, I believe, if I look at the calendar, which I'm not going to do right now because I'm busy, I believe tomorrow is Tuesday. And then after that, oh, God, it's going to be Wednesday. If that isn't bad enough, Thursday follows closely behind Wednesday. Then Friday comes. Wow, Friday is just looking forward to I don't know what. And then Saturday is going to follow up after Friday, which Saturday is always a little bit more anticipatory, but nothing really happens. And then Saturday is, Sunday is okay. This is Easter now. Oh my God, is it Easter already with the bunnies? This is when we look at the bunny. It's Bunny Day is what it is. Kids love these holidays. These holidays are for kids. They're not for people. They're always for kids. Easter, yeah, you got to find the eggs. Kids love it. Christmas, yeah, you open presents. Kids love it. You watch the kids open the presents. It gives you more joy. All these holidays, all these New Year's, kids, they get drunk. The little kids, they drink alcohol once a year and they get drunk and champagne, and little kids like wander around the room and like walk into walls and stuff. That's always fun to watch. It's all for the kids. All right. Have yourselves a wonderful day. I wish you peace.